So in terms of what we can do legally, again, it depends on your locality. That's why I said really understand the law you're dealing with. But I think one thing that I've noticed is that when it comes to religion, maybe crime based on religion, it can be kind of hard to prove, right? That you've been attacked because of your religion. So you might not be able to use discrimination law, for example, but you can absolutely use criminal law. So again, another practical example, let's say you're I don't know, let's say a Muslim man, right? Walking and you see someone that verbally and physically attacks you. And they actually said, you know, obviously no one will say I'm attacking you because you're a Muslim, but the way their demeanor and everything you knew was because you were a Muslim. When you come to report that to the police, obviously you need to prove that you were attacked based on your religion. And that might be hard to prove. So you might not be able to use discrimination law, but you can absolutely use criminal law. Assault is assault, right? If someone hits you, they have assaulted you. And if the law of your country works well, you can absolutely seek redress for that. So sometimes we have to be clever about how, remember, sometimes the law is not actually, like I come from a legal background, but sometimes the law does not always, you know, give justice where it needs to, because it can be quite flimsy sometimes. So we need to be smart about how we're using the law. The second point I wanted to make is that if you as an individual feel like, how am I supposed to take on, you know, an institution, for example, that maybe you were fired from work because you decided to take Eid off because you wanted to, you know, celebrate with your family, and you were fired at work because your boss said, no, you shouldn't have done that. We had a project that we had to work on. That's discrimination, by the way. There are so many bodies, and I know Mr. Lokodano referred to one about the hijab, something about hijabs. There are so many more. What were they called?
Hijab Rights Initiative.
Thank you, Hijab Rights Initiatives. If you go on Google, there are so many organizations in your locality, believe me, that can represent you. So again, using the UK as an example, there are some organizations that have the brain, the legal resources, the funding, the power and the backing to represent you. So if you feel scared to take on certain large institutions, absolutely reach out to these organizations and say, you know, this is what happened to me. Can you take on my case? And I'd like to make a final point about immigrants abroad. Some of us who are in the UK and, you know, we might not necessarily have our papers yet, or you might be an illegal immigrant. There's often a fair and quite a justified one of, I've been a victim of crime, but I'm scared to go to the authorities because I am illegal in the country. In the UK, I know that recently they have said that if you as a victim of crime come to the police, they will not ask you what your immigration status is, so that you don't feel scared to actually report crime because you think you're going to be deported. I don't know what it's like in other countries, but I know that this is often a reason why some of us don't report crime or any Islamophobic attacks. So I really urge you, if you are in a country where you feel that you have absolutely been subject to discrimination and Islamophobia, but you feel scared to speak out, I really recommend that you reach out to some organization in your country that can maybe take on your case and can do it anonymously. We shouldn't suffer in silence. Like, I'm even happy for you to reach out to me if you want. Tell me what country you're in. I can try and do the research to try and find organizations that can take up your case or give you the protection that you need, or, you know, explain to you what your rights are so you can actually seek legal redress. So those are just the points that I wanted to make. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.